Hello, hello. Thanks for stopping by. This is the Marita Minute, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Simon Guobadia. Now, I know other people have already reported on this. I'm just getting to it. I know it's coming a little late, but I just have to give you my 2 cents. But he responded or he spoke out about Portia, the divorce, and everything. This is his first time speaking out since he has been released from ICE. And Simon feels like he was targeted um, for financial reasons. um, and believes that Portia didn't pay his child support in good faith. So I want to talk about the first part. Okay, so we all remember the infamous scene on Real Housewives of Atlanta when Portia, her sister, and Tanya went over to Fallon's house while she was still married to Simon. Everybody remember that, right? With the fist bump, she goes up to Simon. Supposedly she already knew Simon at that time. This is Portia, and gave him a fist bump when they were introduced. And as Fallon felt like she was introducing them for the first time. But rumor has it that they knew each other and had been seeing each other prior. Okay. First of all, I feel like Simon ain't telling the entire truth. I mean, there's two sides to a story. It's his truth, her truth, and then this what's in the middle, which is a combination of both sides. Now, I'm not going to say that Simon wasn't targeted. I don't even know if it was planned. However, it just happened to work out in Portia's favor. Now, Portia wasn't no slouch when he met her, okay? She was making money, but she had sources of income. She worked Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was on that publication with Ricky Smiley. What's it called? Dish Nation. She did Amazon. She had Pamper Me by Portia. She had a couple of the different venues. Go Naked Hair. She had different sources of income. So she wasn't no slouch. She was making okay money. She has a nice house that she gave to her mom. Or I don't know if she gave it to her mom, but her mom lives in. So she ain't no slouch. She don't have Simon money because Simon is supposedly worth $300 million. I don't know. Either 300 or he's either $400 million or $300 million or $40 million. Regardless, I don't know what Portia's net worth is, but I don't know if it's at least 40 million. I don't know what her net worth is. I didn't look it up. Anywho, he seems to think that Portia targeted him for financial reasons. Maybe she wanted to be a kept woman, but not because she needed the finances, needed somebody else to take care of her. She just didn't want to work. And I can see that. She just wanted to be taken care of. I know supposedly when they dated per Michelle Brown, citing Michelle Brown, supposedly when they dated, he was giving her a $30,000 a month allowance. When they got married, I think it went up to 40,000 or something to that effect. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I think it was something like that. That was less than what she was bringing in a month with all of her sources of income. So it couldn't have been for financial reasons because she was like broke. It was just that she just didn't want to work anymore. She was living off of you, and you was giving her her little spending money while she still lived off of you because obviously he was still paying for the mortgage and everything that came along with the houses. He gifted her a Rolls. I guess he was leasing it, but I don't know. But he gifted it to her, so she's got the Rolls too because it was a gift. So she really didn't have to work because she's living off of you and you're giving her an allowance. So I guess it balanced out. Anyway, plus she can come and go as she pleased or whatever. Now he says he was targeted. I don't know if he was really targeted, but I do know he mentions in his interview with Page Six that when he was going through his divorce with Fallon, that Portia popped into his DMs and was praying for him. That's the story he's going with. That's the story he's leading with. Now, mind you, Tisha tells, if anybody watched her, she kind of like ran it down, even though she kind of put it together. Because the same night, I want to say she had pictures she had found that they were at the St. Regis Hotel. And when she pulled up the pictures, Portia had the same bathing suit on. Her and her sister had the same bathing suit on and was at the St. Regis Hotel along with Simon. And he was sitting there at the St. Regis, and there was the background. She proved it. Same night. This is the same night that they actually filmed that scene at the pool. So Portia knew him. Okay. And she might have been in his DMs, but it wasn't to pray for him. It was like, what time we hooking up? My personal opinion. I don't know. I wasn't there. So Simon's full of crap. Simon just didn't think that Portia, 265 days a year, Underground Railroad, a real train, could run this on him. He's embarrassed. My opinion again. Simon is embarrassed. Now, he took this Page Six, he took this interview. He's talking about Portia. And let's take a listen.
Marrying her?
Absolutely. I said to her in one of my text messages to her, because she didn't respond because I kept asking, why did you file for a divorce? And she wouldn't say anything. I tried to reach her mom. Her mom would not respond either. I later figured out this felt like a coup. I was totally blindsided. I was no member of her family, whether on the mother's side or on the father's side, reached out to me. And the only person I actually reached out to was her mom, and she didn't respond. And so I essentially sent her a text message. I said this was a $5 million rehab project that I took on. She never shared her concerns or issues with me before filing for divorce. If you're married, I've been married quite a bit. I think I understand a little bit about the dynamics of. I should understand a little bit about the dynamics of a relationship. You discuss issues and say, "Hey, if this does not change or something does not happen, this is what might come of it."
Mm-hmm.
We never had those discussions, and I'm happy to share with you text messages where I was essentially blindsided by the divorce filing.
I was actually going to ask you if this was something that you saw coming, if conversations had been had prior. What do you think or what do you think Portia's reason was to file for divorce?
I think I was targeted.
In what way?
Uh, I was targeted from day one for financial reasons. When I filed for divorce from my previous, ex-wife, she was in my DM praying for me. And I think I was in a vulnerable position at that time, and I entertained it, and so it just kind of snowballed from there.
Mhm.
Getting engaged in 30 days. I mean, who does that? I was out of my 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 goddamn mind to have done that, and of course, I'm paying dearly for it.
Wow. That brings me to my next topic. There was some reports stating that the judge overseeing your divorce case has upheld the prenup that you guys signed before entering marriage. Um, are you able to share a little bit about what those terms are or look like?
That you receive $40,000 a month in alimony for the length of the marriage, which was 14 months.
Okay.
she gets to stay in the house, all expenses paid, including the mortgage, through for 36 months, up to 36 months. And if she chooses to own the home, she would have to refinance the property in her name and take a 50% equity. She would have to give me 50% equity in the home.
Wow. What is your reaction to that ruling and that decision?
It's basically what I've held from day one about this case when I realized that I was targeted. I've had prenups in previous relationship, and I've honored those prenups without reservation.
Mhm.
This time around, I've chosen to challenge in court all the way to the Supreme Court if I have to. This enforcement of the prenup is going to continue to receive legal challenges on the appeal front.
Okay, so you're vowing to appeal this decision for sure.
1000% is going to be appealed.
One of the things that has recently kind of come out is that Portia said she paid child support for your children while you were in ICE custody. What is your reaction to that?
She sent her two $2,500 payments in 1 month, and that was it. That didn't even necessarily cover anything. I heard for the first time in court that had happened, and I immediately texted my ex-wife asking her, did she receive any funds from Portia? She said yes. Portia reached out to her and offered to give those funds to her. Um, in my opinion, it was not it wasn't done in good faith.
Do you regret?
So the question was, does he regret marrying Portia? Of course he does. Now, hindsight being 2020. Do I feel sorry for Simon? Mm-mm. Because he was being a creep on the day that they went over to Fallon's house and she opened her house up to those ladies. And she knew, even if she didn't know Simon, the fact that she got with you 30 days after you all had called yourself splitting, y'all weren't even divorced yet. You entertained Portia because you was being a creep. You liked what you saw. And you didn't think that she could run game on you. Well, the courts are in her favor. And do I side with Portia? No, because I don't think that what she did was right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning at all what Portia did, but she hit a lick. And she got one. Now, he's supposed to pay her for the next 36 months. Is that what it is? Or no, he's supposed to pay for the next 14, 15 months this alimony, but she could stay in the house up to 3 years, all expenses paid. I mean, that's nice. I mean, she could pretty much at that point, if Real Housewives of Atlanta stays on the air and she gets into her other bags, then yeah, she could probably stay in the house or buy a similar house to it, maybe not as much money. But I don't feel sorry for Simon. Because when he got with Portia, he was talking real foul about Fallon. No pun intended. But granted, she was pregnant by the hell, but it doesn't even matter because one question to Simon. Why did you think Fallon was there? Because of your daring good looks? She liked taking care of your kids along with hers. I mean, tell me why you think any of those young women, and I'm saying young women that are still fertile, would even entertain him. I'm just saying, like, men at a certain age don't get it. Somebody that is 60 years old, I don't think Simon might be close to 60, right? What 20 some, because I think Fallon's 20 some, or what 30 some woman that's still in childbearing years who wants more children is going to tie themselves up with this unless it is worth their while. Men kill me when they think that someone young is going to waste their youthful childbearing years tied to you. Because I want to say that Simon's got something done. I think he got a vasectomy. I think Fallon had kind of said that he did something. So he wasn't having any more babies, even though he didn't really come clean with Portia as to, because she wanted to have another child. And daggone her, if she had gotten another child, ching, 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 she would have got more. All I'm saying is men, and Simon's not by himself. They feel like that's what gets you your women. Cause I don't know what he looked like when he was younger, but right now at 60, he looks like a 60-year-old man that got had. And I don't know why else he thought that Portia was there. Look at Portia. Y'all know what she looks like. Look at Portia. Matter of fact, let me see. Hold on one second. Look at Portia. And I think Portia, she's not quite 40 yet. I think she's in her late 30s. But she is gorgeous. Portia's a beautiful woman. And you think she was there because she just found you so charming. Your money helped. And he could have been charming. He said he treated her like a queen, and he probably did. But I don't think it was premeditated. I don't feel like she went with the notion of, I'm going to get with him and that's going to be it. I feel like based on what's in the streets, she met somebody else who has a cute coin that is a little younger, even though he's taken too, but she knows how she got you. So she's only waiting her time before she gets him that same way. So there's that. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think. This is crazy. Simon needs his butt beat for thinking that Portia was even. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. And with that being said, everyone be blessed. Peace.